The Uyinene Mrwetyana Foundation, in partnership with UCT, is leading a walk in remembrance of the slain UCT student Uyinene Mrwetyana. Nearly 7 years since her brutal murder, the route she once walked in pursuit of her education will become a route of remembrance, reflection and action. Uyinene was raped and murdered at the post office, you recall, in Claremont by post office worker Luyanda Botha, who is currently serving 3 life sentences for that crime. Let's go now to SABC News reporter Tando Ntunja, who joins us live from that walk. Tando, good morning to you. I mean, so many years on, the legacy of this young girl is still being kept alive and is a reminder of the violence that is still perpetrated against women and children as we head towards the end of Women's Month.
Indeed, Criselda, it is a reminder of the violence that is continuing to be perpetuated against women under this context of femicide here in South Africa, sadly to say. And in fact, right now, as the march is about to start in earnest here on the main road in Claremont in Cape Town, I'm joined, in fact, by mother of Ntunja, who was actually stabbed and killed by her boyfriend in Girls River in Cape Town, participating in today's commemorative march, Uyinene. Mama, your daughter was only recently killed this year, and yet here you are today. Why is today so significant for you?
I'm here as a mother of my Ntle, who was killed by the ex-boyfriend. In fact, she's not a boyfriend, ex-boyfriend in Paro. The reason that I'm here is to just support and just to march for Uyinene's foundation, to support me, to show, to ask from government. I'm not sure whether I must ask government or must ask God to, because this is keep on. Our kids are killed every day. Our kids are killed every day by the people that they trusted. They are killed. Uyinene was killed in post office. Ntle was killed in a what can I say? It's not a in a flat. It's like a flat of the ex-boyfriend. So every day our kids are being killed by by the men. I'm not sure what else must we do. I just came for that, to support that.
Thank you so much, Mama, for your time as well, and also for joining this march. If I may go now to Mr. Anele Siswana, who is actually a clinical psychologist by profession, but is also someone who participates in anti-GBV related work. Today you're doing a keynote. Significance of the day for you today?
The significance of the day today, it marks a monumental moment after what happened in the life of Uyinene Mrwetyana that has moved more than just it being an event, but helping us as a nation to think about ways in which we can end gender-based violence. And I think one of the things that we're going to talk about from communities to action, it's ideally helping everyone to reimagine what it means for us to end gender-based violence. I mean, from what you can see today, it's school children, learners, and communities coming together. And I think it's a moment for us as a community, as a society, to figure out ways in which we can end gender-based violence.
And also, Anele, we opened up earlier this morning the conversation with Uyinene's Mama Noma, talking about the importance of opening up the conversation of GBV with men as well. Can you just discuss a bit about your work in that area as well?
My work is around men and masculinities and young boys. I think it is in the harmful practices that throughout generations, patriarchy, hegemonic masculinity has really informed the ways in which we think about unhealthy practices of gender-based violence. But I think now the involvement of young men at different levels, it really helps us to teach young men of what it means to be a man without exerting power, without exerting control. And these young men and young boys that are participating in our initiatives, I think we'll have a reimagination of the kind of boys that we'll have who are more conscious and aware of the harmful practices, but are willing also to change the ways in which you're going to move forward as a society.
Anela, in the years that you've been doing this work in masculinities, and now in the context of femicide, if I may, and also GBV broadly speaking, have you seen a shift, maybe some aspect of impact of the work that you're doing? What have you seen over the years? What trends have you been seeing over the years?
From a research perspective and from HSRC and many other scholars, people like Professor Maloselanga, Professor Kopano Ratele, and ourselves, I suppose from a research perspective, we've done tremendous impact and an impact in that regard. But I think there's still a long way to go in us challenging these dominant, problematic ways that which we know men have been in society. I think if we were to do so much work in rural areas, in townships, in churches, and in spaces where men gather, we will have incredible results. I think the reality is, I think a number of young boys and men don't understand the languaging and the impact of gender-based violence, because our everyday normative practices, things like saying "dudlu ntombazana" and things like problematic social constructs that have been normalized and for the longest of time, those have not been eradicated. And I think beyond research, activism is one way that we're going to do. And mostly in this kind of works, men should be at the forefront, because the power to change lies in men taking action and in men moving forward in challenging gender-based violence. Every day we know who has perpetrated is a man. And we're not saying that men aren't probably abused, but reality, our stats are proving that there's so much work that still needs to be done away from activism, but more to action and involving men in their spaces and making sure that men have the obligation to be at the forefront in ending gender-based violence and femicide in South Africa.
Thank you so much, Anele, for your time today. And as you can see now, the march is about to begin. We're actually kind of holding them up a little bit as we're conducting these interviews, but these very critical conversations that we're having live here on the main road in Claremont in Cape Town, to you in studio, Crisalda, on channel 404. As you can see, there are lots of school children that have also gathered here. They've been fetched from Kwalanga to join this commemorative walk in its 5th year, to join the activism against gender-based violence. Men, women, children, Uyinene's entire family is actually here. We spoke to Uyinene's mother earlier this morning. Uyinene's father is here. Uyinene's brother is also here. Everyone is here chanting, hopeful, and as I said also this morning, so thankful for clear skies. Looks overcast, but it's not raining. So it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Great omen, good energy happening right now out here on the main road in Claremont in Cape Town for the Uyinene Mrwetyana 5th year of the commemorative march in her memory after she was brutally raped and murdered 7 years ago at the Clareinch Post Office in Claremont in Cape Town. Griselda.
Well, thank you very much indeed, live from that Uyinene Mrwetyana Walk of Remembrance taking place. Thank you very much to our colleagues. We'll try to cross to them a little bit later on as well. That a devastating route which was once travelled by this young lady as she tried to pursue her studies, of course, became that route which is now being remembered for a woman who was brutally killed there in Claremont.